The Tragedy of Tamar Braxton, The Mask of Fake Confidence. And I think her bluff was called when this needing to be validated. Tamar Braxton is the living warning sign of what happened when low self esteem masquerade as high confidence on stage, on TV, in interview. She was loud, animated, extra, but strip it down. It was just noise covering the silence of insecurity. People mistake this braggadocious behavior for strength. It isn't, it's desperation. Tamar wore glitter, wigs, lashes, designer clothes, not as an expression, but as an armor. The shinier she looked, the more she hoped people wouldn't notice the cracks inside. She wanted validation like air. Every appearance, every interview, every post screamed, "Look at me. Don't forget me. Tell me I matter." It wasn't confident. It was begging with rhinestone. Low self esteem plays a cruel trick. It convinces you that if you act big enough, people will believe you are big. Tamar perfected the act, but when the lights dim, reality set heavy. Bank accounts drain, relationship crumble, depression follow. Pretending to be perfect is exhausting. It's a marathon of lies you tell yourself until the truth knocks you flat. For Tamar, the truth was public bankruptcy, failed relationship, mental breakdown that played out in front of millions. The danger of living for attention is that it becomes a drug. One hit of applause is never enough. You need more, louder, bigger. Tamar didn't just chase the stage, she chased the camera, the gossip blogs, the headlines, anything to feel relevant. The tragedy is that she had talent, real voice, real gift, but the obsession with validation overshadowed the art. Instead of legacy, she became a spectacle. Instead of queen, she became clown. Low self-esteem makes you gamble your dignity for applause. Tamar sold the illusion of life she didn't have, glitter wealth, unshakable confidence, when behind the curtain it was all debt, fear, and fragility. Confidence isn't loud, it's quiet. It doesn't need to shout, brag, or prove. Tamar never understood that. She thought being the loudest in the room made her strongest. It only made her the most transparent. Crash was inevitable. You can't build forever on pretense. The public saw it unraveling. Mental health struggle, canceled shows, money gone, respect slipping. She became the headline she once craved, but in the worst way. Validation seekers always pay the highest price because once the crowd stopped clapping, they are left with echoes of silence. Tamar didn't know how to live in that silence. That's why she kept chasing more, no matter how degrading it looked. Beware of people who look too confident. Beware of those who always need the spotlight, who can't live without attention. They are usually the weakest inside. Tamar proved that performance is not power, it's a mask. The delusion of perfection is poison. She wanted the world to believe she was untouchable, flawless, above criticism. But the higher you pretend to be, the harder you fall when people see the truth. Tamar's downfall is not unique. It's what happened to anyone who trade authenticity for applause. You can only fake strength for so long before life forces you to face yourself. The lesson here is brutal but clear. Low self esteem dressed as high self esteem will always crash and burn. Pretending to be whole while broken is not survival, It is self destruction in slow motion. Tamar is not just a celebrity meltdown. She's the mirror for everyone who pretend their worth is in their appearance, their like, their followers, their spotlight. She teaches this: attention is not love, validation is not confidence, loudness is not strength, glitter is not gold. The need for attention devours the soul. It makes you forget who you are. It made Tamar a slave to the crowd, a prisoner to applause, and a victim of her own insecurity. Her story is a warning. Build real confidence, or the fake version will destroy you. Learn to value yourself without the crowd, or the crowd will eat you alive. Tamar Braxton thought the stage would save her. Instead, it exposed her. That is the true tragedy. And we can see all of this played out with her. Because I didn't quite get, a lot of people worried about her. She came out where she was missing teeth. She was in a blood puddle. She had hair taken from her. It was just a hot heap of mess because I'm like, okay, you are damn near almost 40. I mean, not 40, damn near. She might even be in her 50s, if not close. You're a grown woman. You're a grown woman. I mean, this is juvenile, what you're talking about. At that age, you should have at least settled down a little bit, you know. You should have gotten some of this wildness out of you. You should like quietness, you know. Now, I understand going to a party and stuff like that. But what it was, it looked like it was someone putting on an act. You know, like, I don't know if it's just me. Every time I seen her, for me, I always noticed it didn't matter how much makeup she wore. It didn't matter how fabulous she looked. I could see the insecurity in her. And people don't realize this. There's two type of insecurity. You have the avert insecurity and you have the convert insecurity. With her, it was convert. And her insecurity is the most dangerous one. And because I'm someone that had struggled with insecurity and low self-esteem issue that I worked out, I had a lot of good people around that helped me out with this. And I really had to put a lot of work on myself. And then once I started working on myself, and I also did some therapy, I went to therapy too. Once I really, really started working on myself, um, I started to realize, you know, what a lot of people don't realize is that we have what's called avert, you know, and then convert. The convert, low self esteem, insecurities are the most dangerous one because what they do, they wear these clothes, they put on these masks, they wear these beautiful makeup, they wear these beautiful jewelry, they wear these beautiful clothes, they all shiny, they glitter and stuff like that, and you really think they got it going on. In reality, what you're looking at is someone that's insecure, someone that's battling low self-esteem, someone that's battling insecurity. That's really what you're looking at. Now, the avert one, you can clearly see the person is dealing with their self. You can really see it. You can see either they sit uncomfortable, either they don't quite know how to sit, they're socially awkward, and they don't quite know what to do in a room full of people. Me personally, I never liked to be in a room full of people because I know I was always socially awkward sometimes, and I just my insecurity, you know, and sometimes borderline anxiety. So I really didn't like a crowd full of room, you know. But hers, once I started to heal, and I really went to therapy for like 2 years straight, you know, I started to notice that. And I remember once I spoke to my therapist, I said, hey, I don't know if it's in my head, but, you know, a lot of these girls that's running around here, all perfect, all, you know, dazzled up. They have all this gold. They have all these, you know, they look like glitter and gold. They look like they got it going on. I started to see a crack. And my therapist, what is that? I started seeing they were struggling with insecurity. Some of them had low self-esteem. And some of them was loud as hell in the room. They like to make a scene like, hey, what's up? What's up, girl? Hey! Like, you know, they make such a big scene. Like, they tend to be the loudest in the damn room. They have such a mouthpiece. And what it was, I told my therapist, it's low self esteem. Oh shit. There's two types of insecurity. One that's in your face, that you can clearly see a person is struggling with something, they're dealing with their little demons over there. And one that's masked up, that it's a mask on them. And I was really shocked. She said, "Wow, that's good." And then I was like, "Really?" She said, "That means you really coming, you coming around nicely. That you realize that." She's like, "Yeah, that is. It's a lot more than what people think." And I started telling her how um, the things, I think, because with me it was cathartic because I actually got therapy. I actually got therapy and actually had people around me that understood what I was dealing with. And so I actually worked on it. I actually invested time on this, you know. So it's funny when people say, "No," I said, "No, I don't have that issue anymore." But if you caught me 10 years ago, yeah, yeah, I was struggling with that. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I may have like little gestures or things that I do like side effects of it, but trust me, that's not where I'm at. I'm mentally healthy, emotionally healthy now, you know. But 10 years ago, yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely, 100%. If you told me that 10 years ago, if you had caught me at 34, 35, yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Now at 46, no, no. So that is what I realized. I was like, that poor lady has a mask on. That poor lady likes applause, likes attention. It's some kind of insecurity going on over there, because at that age, she should have really calmed down. It shouldn't be that much chaos around her. It really shouldn't be. Um, it's too much drama, too much chaos, too much confusion, too much of not knowing what the real story is, too much bringing the external world into her world, because at that age, privacy is everything. Quietness is everything. At that age, you run away from drama. You run away from chaos. I mean, at that age, you shouldn't like all of that chaos, all the havoc around you. At that age, I'm just looking at her age factor. I'm like, ugh, the age, man. It's the age factor. So I looked up her age real quick. She's 48. I'm 46. So she's actually 2 years older than me. So at that age, I'm pretty close to what I was saying. She's there near 50. If it's correct that she was born March 17, 1977. If she was born that age and that year, then she is 48 years old currently right now. So for a 48-year-old lady, that's 2 years shy from being 50. I don't think there should be that level of chaos. That's just my opinion if you're asking me. There shouldn't be that much confusion. There shouldn't really be that much people in your business. That should have been ironed out. Because from what I've seen, people in their mid to late 40s and early 50s, they run away from drama. They run away from chaos. They like quietness. They like peace. They like their peace of mind. And then sometimes too, they tend to be pretty private. That's, I can understand like being young and restless if she was in her 30s. I can get it. I can even get it like if she was like 41, just turn 40, 41, 42, I can get it. But at 48, 2 years shy of being 50, she should have calmed down. So that's just a little too much chaos. So there's definitely something there, something that needs to be ironed out, something that she needs to work with therapists. She needs to build a nice circle around her. Probably need to start journaling, because journaling can be cathartic. Find true people around her that love her, and just like get them around. Get a real circle of love around her, something like that. Get some true friends. For me, you don't really need a lot. Like you just need like one or two really good friend. I'm very fortunate that I have that. Most people don't have that. And I'm very fortunate that I was afforded the luxury of actually going therapy for 2 years. So I'm very fortunate for that. A lot of people don't seek mental health. A lot of people are scared to say when something's wrong with them. And a lot of people do not journal. And a lot of people do not um, have people around them where they can just be themselves and say what's wrong, and they listen and help and give advice. So I've been very fortunate on that aspect. So I'm very, very fortunate. It's not lost on me that I'm fortunate. I had 2 years of therapy. It's not lost on me that I'm very fortunate that I have two or three great people in my circle. It's not lost on me. But I just think it's so chaotic with her. I think that she probably need to pull back, just relax, get in her corner, and figure out what she's going to do with self. That's really what I think that would be good for her at this time. Probably lay off the social media, which I think she's getting some kind of high off it. Just lay off it and get it together. Just get it together. It's nothing wrong with it. We all do that. We all fall back and we get our crap together. It's okay. So that's my opinion about that because I had someone that actually inboxed. I'm just doing this for a person that inboxed me that asked me, "Hey, Manushka, what do you think?" And I'm just doing this for this one subscriber that wanted to know what my opinion is. Yeah, that's my opinion. My opinion, she needs to get in her corner, man. She needs to figure out what she's doing with herself. If need be, she needs to get therapy and stick with it. Maybe do a good solid 1 or 2 year. Have people around her that actually know what the struggle is, whether it's insecurity, whether it's low self esteem. She's battling something because it's just not normal for that age to be out there restless like that, to be honest with you. That's the age that people tend not to care what outsiders think about them. That's the age that no one care what anybody think about the way they look. That's the age where it's about living. It's about your it's about family, it's about friends, it's about loved one. And it's also about sharing knowledge, helping others, seeking to brighten someone's day, put a smile on someone's face, seeking to be positive. It's really what it's about. It really is about loving other human beings. And it's like for me personally, I'm at a place, if I don't really have anything nice to say, I'll just tell someone I have no comment. I don't have anything to say. And they were like, Manishka, are you serious? I'm like, I don't have no comment, man. I don't have anything to say right now. What can I possibly say that would change anything right now? So I've learned to actually shut my mouth when I don't have anything nice to say when people ask me for my opinion. I've also learned peace means a lot to me. I like quietness. I love peace. I love my family. I love the very, very, very few people that I talk to that are friends. And I'm here only to do two things: either help, be of service to other human beings, share what I know. This is the reason why I have this channel. I share what I know. I love to talk about geopolitics. I love to talk about spirituality. Those are the two things that I love to talk about. So I spend a lot of my energy talking about those two things. And I enjoy being a parent and I enjoy just being with those that love me. I enjoy loving on everyone. It's very unfortunate the way the world's going. I hope that she really get it together. I wish nothing but, I wish her nothing but success. But I definitely do think that she needs to step back and get it together. She definitely needs to work on self. That's what is parent to me. So since you asked me for my input, that's my humble opinion. So please like, subscribe, leave a comment. And so yeah, I'm keeping my word. I told you I would have done an input because you want to know what my input was. Because you said that you liked some of my videos when I was talking about what I thought about on certain subjects. So that's it. Thank you for tuning in to Luco T Podcast. My name is Manushka Jessica, the host of Luco T Podcast. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for your time, everyone. Thank you for listening to me. Have a great day. Bye.